Hey everybody, this is going to be a different kind of video. So I recorded and started editing a video about modifying this, a Gameboy Macro. And then I realized, well, some of you might not know what that is, because it's not a Nintendo product per se, it's using Nintendo products. Luckily for me, I had already gotten the itch to start recording the stuff I was doing when I put it together originally. So today, we're just going to go look back at that. Here we have a DS Lite that was sent to me by a relative. The hinge broke and the ribbon cable for the top screen ripped, so I decided to turn it into a Gameboy Macro. This is a mod that's been around for a while where you use the bottom half of a DS or a DS Lite as a GBA. It gives you the landscape screen and control layout of an original GBA, but you get a backlit screen like a GBA SP101. I started this project over a year ago, but once I got it to boot up by soldering a resistor, I kinda left it unfinished. Then, a few months ago, I found a listing for a faceplate that included a speaker and a surface mount resistor to replace the large through-hole one I originally used. Now that we have it out of the shell, let's swap the through-hole resistor with a surface mount one. To remove this resistor, I set my soldering iron to 300 degrees Celsius, but you want to move quickly because that's really hot for these little tiny pads. The reason for this resistor is to trick the DS into thinking the top screen is still plugged in, because if it doesn't see a load on the top screen LED circuit, the console just cuts back off as soon as it powers on. I turned my soldering iron down to 280 from 300 for this small resistor because we don't want to burn the resistor or the pads we're soldering to, and because it's so small, there's not a lot of heat dissipating into the component we're soldering. The pads that we're soldering our resistor to are LED A2 and LED C2. The resistor I used originally reads about 329 ohms, and this is the new resistor. As you can see, it's tiny, and it won't take up as much space in the shell as the old one, and it also reads 329 ohms. You do not want to leave your iron on these points for long because you can damage the pad and it will lift off the motherboard. You should always clean any residue or flux off the board once you're done soldering to prevent any buildup from causing a short or blocking the D-pad contacts in this case. Now onto the speaker. We need to solder to SPRO for the positive side of our speaker. And for the negative, I just picked the spot on the common ground on the board where this via is. First, we'll solder some wires to the speaker contacts, then connect the wires to the test point and the ground. I had a little bit of trouble getting the ground to stay, so I had to scrape off some of the solder mask to get a good spot to attach the speaker. While I was positioning the speaker, I noticed the speaker contacts were very close to the metal frame of the screen, so I decided to put a little Kapton tape to prevent it from shorting out on the screen. And now, onto assembly. If you use this same faceplate, you'll need to trim these small clips on the back shell to clear the new faceplate because it doesn't have cutouts for them. The return springs on the shoulder buttons can be really finicky sometimes. They will pop out of place as you close the shell. So be patient and you can get it.
XL, qué rico.
And there you have it, a Gameboy Macro. Now in that video, I did not trim this faceplate to fit the Gameboy Macro lens. I did that after the fact, and I'll post a picture of what it looked like up here. But I did take it off, as you can see. And we'll get more into that in the next video of why I had to take that off. But for now, did you like this video? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit the like button if you liked, hit the dislike if you didn't like. And also let me know, what's your favorite Game Boy Advance game, and do you think this is a good way to play them? But for now, I'll see you next time.